Hello folks, out imaging, and I thought I would share what I'm doing tonight. And for those who are up late, I'm going to close out a few windows and get this going. Uh, Currently, I am, let me share my screen, and here we go. I have PhD running, and it's better right now. It's under 1 RMS total, but it hasn't been good. It's been about 1.27, and the scene has been kind of rocky, and that's easy to see on uh, the other telescope. And I'll switch to that in just a minute. I'm imaging Saturn with that telescope. But right now, I'm using, well, I'll just show you the best way to do it. And then we'll come back to this. This is the surveillance camera, and it's turning on. Okay, let's I'm not doing a time lapse. Raise this up a little bit. Okay. Um, this is the stellar view. It's a 330 millimeter refractor, and it is imaging the Elephant Trunk Nebula. It's in really wide field, so I'll get a lot of the nebulosity. I'm using a narrow band. It's a mono camera, an ASI 1600 Pro is the camera. And I'm using Astronomic HA 03 and S2 filters. Both of these telescopes, the focus is automatic focus. Electronic focusing is done by Moonlight. I use Moonlight focusers. I love them. And then this telescope is the Celestron Edge 8-inch HD. And riding on top of both of these are Orion guide scopes with Lodestar SVX cameras. And I'm using an ASI 240, although I meant to go down and change that to the Player One Uranus telescope. Camera, but forgot to do it. So that's what's going on, and we'll go back to close this out, and we'll go back to the Sequence Generator Pro is the acquisition software that I use, and I'm set up tonight to take 30 240-second HA images. They're not, it's not going to be enough. I'll need another night to double this. And then I'll also take 3003 filtered images. This is hydrogen alpha, this is oxygen, and they're all going to be 240 seconds long, 4 minutes. And then this is sulfur, S2, and it's I'm going to try to get 30 minutes of each, which is a total of about 6 hours. I already have an hour invested in it, and I have 5 more to go. So it'll image throughout the night, and I'm going to stay up a while and do some planetary imaging with another setup. And so let's switch over to that, and I'll show you what's coming in. It's not much. Pull this away. So this is an image, and if you were new to astrophotography and you took a 4-minute image of this part of the sky, you would probably wonder if you're in the right place, because it doesn't look like there's anything. You'd wonder if the camera's working. Just a lot of puzzles, and I know I had them when I first got started. I'm going to add a little stretch this, and you still can't see more. It kind of brightened up a few of the stars, and there is a vague resemblance of nebulosity. But there is a lot of nebulosity that's in this image, but it needs a lot of these images stacked together in order to pull the nebulosity out to nice, pretty colors. So I'm going to be gathering the data tonight, 6 hours worth, and if I get another 6 hours worth in tomorrow, let's say, I hope I can image tomorrow night, then yes, we should get a good picture. So this is not much to look at, but Saturn's always fun to look at. So let's head over to the other telescope, and I'm glad it's still there. But here we have Saturn, and I'm going to really not sure. I've been working on focus, but seeing is coming in and out, and I'm not sure if I have a decent focus or not. So what I'm going to do, as soon as the moon climbs high enough, which shouldn't be too much longer. This is my planetary software of choice. I use Cartes de Sol and Sky Safari 6 Pro, but the moon is now about, it's higher than 4 degrees. I know it's higher than 4 degrees. Let's go back and check that again. Altitude. Oh, that's azimuth. I don't have the moon. Now we got it. I'm losing my mind. It's 7 degrees. So it's got a ways to go. And good news, bad news. As soon as the moon climbs higher in the sky, it will be not a full moon, but it'll be a fairly well-lit light in the sky that will mess with anybody imaging in red, green, or blue, or one-shot color cameras, but it's not nearly as much of an issue with narrowband, HA03S2. So, and that was one of the reasons why I've chosen in the last several nights to that I could image, to choose narrowband targets and combat the moon's light. They have filters to do that. So let's head back to Saturn. I'll take a quick capture of about 5,000 frames while I'm waiting for the moon to climb. And the reason why I want the moon to climb high enough for me to get a look at it is I can much easier, it's easier for me to focus using the moon as a reference, because the craters, the contrast of the craters allow you to dial in the focus much more accurately than it can be done, at least by me, on these rings around Saturn. It's just tough. So I play around with it. These are the controls over here to the right towards the bottom for the moonlight focuser, and I can, as soon as this finishes these 5,000 frames, I'll play around with the focus a little bit, and if let's try moving it out a little and see if we notice an improvement in the clarity, the moon's clarity, sharpness. And I can't tell. I've never been able to tell. My eyes aren't as good as they were even last year, but I couldn't tell last year or the year before when seeing wasn't that good. And seeing is when there's atmospheric turbulence nonsense going on that causes your planet to kind of look wavy, kind of bounce around. Saturn isn't moving. Of course, my telescope's being affected by a breeze here and there, and so it's just the way it is. Hang on a minute. No, Charlene asked a question, if I have any images of the Starlink satellites. They're kind of cool when you see them pass over, but I'm not a person that curses, and I don't like to be around people who do. But those little satellites, when I'm imaging in that part of the sky, kind of travel through my field of view at times, and were I to say a dirty word, I would probably be inclined at that time, because it runs images. So satellites clutter up the sky with nonsense light, and that streak through images. And when you invest, not so much with this planetary imaging, but with the deep space, when you invest 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 4 minutes for each image, it gets frustrating when you have to discard an image, cull it, because of satellite streaks. Excuse me. I don't think I've coughed all day. But no, I don't. I don't have it. Sure don't. Or any pictures of it. Intentionally, I don't have any pictures of it. I'm not so sure I've even had the. Oops, what happened? I'm not so sure I even have had the Starlink. They're very low on the horizon, and I mean, in the grand scheme of things, they're not overhead, and so most of my imaging is done at 30 degrees altitude and higher. And I really like to start at 45. I waited until the elephant trunk IC 1396, which is what I'm imaging over on the other telescope. I waited till it was pretty high in the sky. Let's take another one after moving the telescope out 30 steps. I think I was at 1020 steps, 1020 steps. Those are fractional turns of the focus of the focuser, but in the case of the moonlight focuser, they don't. They just rack the optical train in and out. They don't change the actual focuser, but it's moved out. I have it 1,000 steps is generally a good focus place for me to start, and that's just the way I've set this up. And so I've had to come out and I may not be at the right place. I'll know better when I can get a field of the get a view of the moon. So I'm biding time right now, and here's my plan. Let me take another one. I just took one, so we're going to take another one, another 5,000 frame. It's a pretty long video that has 5,000 frames in it, and so back to my planetarium software. Right behind the moon, this is the track that Jupiter, the moon, the planets, they all kind of travel across this elliptic, and that's what this line references. It is the elliptic, and you can see Saturn is here, Neptune is here, and the moon doesn't always follow the elliptic. It just happens to be following it now, or sun. Sometimes it's to the north and to the south. Right now it looks like it's right on the elliptic, but right behind it is Jupiter. So it's even lower in the sky. So it's going to be, it's 11 o'clock now, so it's going to probably, let's go ahead and advance time to 12. So at 12 o'clock, the moon will be very high enough for me, and Jupiter, click on Jupiter here. It's got an asteroid. Let me zoom in. This thing won't move. Let's go back to the, oh, you got that. There we go. All right. And so at 12, Jupiter will be, where's altitude at? We'll be at 14 degrees. It will be high enough. It'll be over my house roof. It's low, but it'll be high enough for me to start imaging Jupiter. So I'll be looking at that in an hour. And by that time, I will have my focus pretty much nailed down. So that's the plan. And so we're going to go back and just keep Jupiter here in not Jupiter, Saturn. And we'll get a little closer to it and try this focus thing again. That's not helping. We need to go the other way. Again, it's just really tough. When you notice it, though, is when you take those 5,000 frames and you process them into a single picture. And you can tell then if you had a planet that was out of focus. That's much worse. So we have to go back. I went in and I think I'm going to leave it about there. And I'm going to knock off another 5,000. And while we're watching Saturn and waiting for the moon, I'm just going to hush and let it ride. My alma mater, Florida State University, has defeated LSU. I didn't admit to being a Florida State graduate about 3 years ago. You might say I was ashamed to be a Florida State graduate. And then we have a lot of people celebrating Labor Day. Hope everybody is safe. It's got to travel tomorrow. I was going to use a different camera and put the TeleVue 2X PowerMate which would have doubled the focal length. Right now I'm at 2033 millimeters focal length, and with the 2X TeleVue PowerMate I would have been at 4066 millimeters. And the Uranus Player One planetary camera has more pixels, and so it can render a better image. So don't ask me why I didn't put it on. I don't know. Tomorrow. One cool thing about the PowerMate is that I can put it on and give or take pretty close to being in focus. another iMac. That's that Apple sound you heard. Does amaze me that Saturn continues every year to deliver beautiful views. I think it may be everyone's favorite planet. Some of the younger folks like Mars. My wife and I grew up in Florida, Orlando, from starting high school pretty much on, and very familiar with these cities, Steinhatchee, Perry, Live Oak, that have been devastated by a deluge. Kind of biding time until I can get feedback. Fix that. Biding time though until I can head over to the moon and work on focus. Then I'll come back to Saturn and I'll take some more images of Saturn. Let's go ahead and take another 5,000 frames. But seeing conditions aren't great, and I better head over to the other telescope and make sure we're still getting yep, this is the elephant trunk IC 1396, and we'll do a medium stretch. It's still hard to make out the nebulosity in these 4-minute exposures, but it's there. And once I have enough data, I can compile it into an image. But right now it's a matter of gathering it. So how many images have we taken so far? We have 23. And then it will switch filters and bring the O3 into the optical train, and it'll take 30 4-minute O3 images. But there isn't a lot of O3 in this wide field view of the elephant trunk. There is some. And then S2, there'll be more S2 and HA than there will be O3. I have been using the ASI 533 MC camera and the ASI 183 MC, these one-shot color cameras with L-Extreme and L-Enhance filters by Optilong. They're dual band that allow you to pull the HA and the O3 data into an image. It's pretty cool, and then they do a great job. But I'm going to go back to mono. For nebulosity, for narrow band targets. You can't beat it. just can't be beat. A lot more work. To make an image, a lot more work. Takes more time. Let's go back and stay with Saturn. Actually, I want to see where, let's go back to now and put real time back. And the moon is, how high is the moon? Because it's 11:30 and the moon is 15 degrees. I tell you what, let me go look out the window, see how high it is. I might be able to get a view of it. Yeah, let's head over there. So we're going to switch. We're going to come back to Saturn. So let me back to auto, and let's change our field of view. Won't let me. I don't think. That'll work. All right. So let's stop PhD and clear that out. And let's head over to the moon. And we bring up my connected planetary software, and we'll make sure we got the right time. And here it is. So let's see how close we can get to it on the first slew. And we're off. Here comes the telescope. Taking a deep dive. It is low in the sky. And let's bring up the so I got to get it into the field of view. So let's bring up and let's see. Let me figure out which way goes which way. I think east goes down. Let's increase the speed 2 times. I'm kind of using my guide scope as a finder scope. And let me change this to we don't want to go. Holy smokes. Let's go back. All right, let's just try moving east here, and yeah. It should have already been in the field of view. Let me bring up. Maybe go in the wrong direction. Yeah, I was. Shouldn't be that far off. That's crazy. Well, I am not. Let's go back and put it. And let's make sure we sync it back. Let's just drain. That's nuts. All right, try it again. We're going to find it. Let's go back to auto. All right, let's. That isn't it. Let's. There you go. So bloody bright, and it's still in so much light that it's hard to. Let's bring this back down to 1/10 of a second. There, we found it. All right, let's let's move it. We need to move it. Let's see, north, and another thing here, and then let's move it west. Nope, east. I had it backwards. And now we should see it. And do we ever? Alright, let's bring this down. And let's bring the gain down or focus. And let's bring this up. And let's move around to an area where we have some good contrast. So let's, not there. Oh, I'm going too fast. I need to get down to one-time sight area. And this will get us, get me in a position where I can kind of refine the focus. Then I'll go back to Saturn and I'll be able to hopefully I'll be able to get some better images of it. As we move towards the terminator, the craters are going to look a little more contrasty. And that's where you can, actually I wasn't too far, not too far out of focus, so let's try, let's go back to 1,000 steps. That's my starting place. And let's put a little zoom on this, a little more, and then now let's see what's going on. Let's go in. And let's come out. But you see how the surface of the moon is just kind of I'm looking at another monitor and it looks horrible. On the other iMac. I guess that's what you're all seeing. Looks better on mine. Alright, let's try coming out some more. Let's go down to this crater down here. My goodness, this is much better. Yeah, this is looking pretty good. Okay, I think they have some focus tools that Sharpcat does, and let's change the, so let's see if we can 3.370 is our best. 4.4. And let's let it stay there for a little. That's worse. You can see it's worse. Tells me to come back out. Move the box, and let's try it again. Here. Scene's just making it hard to do anything, and scene conditions. Although this is looking pretty good now. Let's try the think I pretty much settled on it. $11.90. Says to go down. Go down some more. No, this isn't working. Nope. Okay. All right. While we're here, it's where we've just about concluded our focus run, so I'm going to count on Shark Camp for having got me in the right place. Looks pretty good. Let's go out to, and let's head back over to Saturn and take some pictures. That looks pretty good. All right, let me bring up my planetary software, and let's hit Saturn. I hope we don't have to hunt for it, because I'm inside and I am not going outside. I should have synced the mount and it would have gotten us very, very close, but it's a pretty good mount, so we aren't going to be too far off. But we're going to really have to raise up the gain and all. Okay, let's just bring it up. And let's see. What we need is so I think that's no. Alright, which direction do we want to go, Ed? We have to change the speed to 2 times. And let's see if we can find it. I think this would be the right direction. How far off are we? We're headed in the wrong direction. Let's see. Let's slew back to Saturn. And again, I'm going to use my guide scope as my finder. And so we tried east, didn't we? Yep. So here she comes. There it is. Okay, bingo. Let's I think we got to move north. And my finder scope isn't aligned real good. Let me see. Let's come down a little. Oh. Here it comes. Okay, let's dial down some. Well, let's get it over here first. Oh. And let's change this to 1 times sidereal. Tag on it. And let's drop the gain down about 200. All right, let me center it. And let's see, we want to go west, south, east, no, south, and then west. Nope. Yeah, a little more. Let's bring up PhD. Start looping. And let's guide at 1.5 seconds. Let's go back. Let's change our capture area to, let's go down to 488 to 488, and let's go into about 300%. Actually, I think it looked sharper before I don't think it looks as focused now as it was before I went to the moon and ran all that focus crap. Excuse my French. Alright, let's go out. I'm at 990, I can always go back. Let's go back out. Come on, software. My Wi-Fi is hiccuping. May have to reconnect Wi-Fi. Come on, come on, come on. I guess that's Wi-Fi. Let's see if... No, that's SharpCap. SharpCap's locked up. That's easy to fix. I'll just close it. It has frozen. Wonder if I can get rid of it without bringing up the task manager. Let's just close it. Alright, and let's bring it back up again. Software. I hope everybody has a great Labor Day weekend, or is having a great Labor Day weekend. Let's connect our camera, 224, and let's bring this back up. And center it. And let's go back to our, let's go out. I can't tell. I thought I had a better focus before I went to the moon and used it as a focus reference when we were on Saturn before, but I can't tell. I don't, that looks better to me in a lot of ways, but alright, here's what I want to do. We'll go ahead and 1050 steps. I'm at 1,050 steps over here. I'm going to I'll take, well, I was going to take an image of Saturn and call it, not Sun, Saturn 1050, so that I could compare it with several others, but I'm going to be changing the camera, so I'm not going to fool with it. Let's go ahead and we're already taking a capture. I don't even remember doing it. So we're capturing 5,000 frames. So I'm going to start a capture and we're going to do let's take 5,000 and let's take 15, and then I'll use WinJupos and with let's say 10 seconds between pictures in case I want to make an adjustment. All right, let's start. I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to get some more coffee. It'll be a long night. While that's knocking off a few frames, let's head back over to the other kit and see where we are. We're on the 03 filter. We did take our 30 HAs, and so we're on 03. I don't expect to see a lot of 03 signal. So let's look and see what we got. And do a medium stretch. Now, there's some there, but this is IC 1396, which is the Elephant Trunk Nebula, which is a little thing about right here because this is very wide field. This is about 4 degrees across, slightly under 4 degrees across, so it's a pretty wide field of view. and there's a lot of nebulosity that goes into the to IC 1396, a lot. And while we're taking those other frames, let's see where Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter is right now at how? Jupiter. Altitude. Okay, let's go find Jupiter after we finish this run of Saturn. So we got my plan for IC 1396 is tonight to get 30 HA, 30 O3, and 30 S2 filtered images, and I have about 4 hours left. And let's see, it's going on. It's a little after 12, so it'll be around 5 o'clock. It'll be around 5 o'clock when it finishes. Then I'm going to do the same thing tomorrow night. But right now, I want to go back to Saturn, and we have 11 remaining. I want to see if I have WinJuPost loaded on this laptop. And 71 degrees out. WinJuPost. I don't have it. I don't think I have it. No. I don't. Yeah, I've got it. No, I don't. What that was. I'm going to have to load WinJuPost onto this so that I can see where Jupiter is with regard to the giant red spot. And how many we got left? Let's see, we're capturing another 5. Because there's rotation in with these planets, and Jupiter rotates fairly quickly, that if you take 5,000 frames of Jupiter, you're getting awful close to having the rotation affect your image. So you use WinJupos to align those rotated images into a single image. But also WinJupos gives you views of the planet as they are now. You can change the time and see how they would be in an hour or 2 hours, where the moons are. It's very handy software, and it is free. I've done some videos on WinJupos and how to use it somewhere. I think I'm going to stop this. I want to go see Jupiter. I had no idea that Jupiter was as high as it was already. And so let's go find it. As soon as this gets to 5,000, which it's like in about 1,200 right now, frames, we'll pause it. Okay, and we're going to cancel, and we're going to stop guiding. Stop looping again, and we're going to bring up software. Let's click on Jupiter, see if it's up here. Edit. We want solar system, Jupiter, find it, make sure we got real time, and let's slew there. And here comes the telescope. We'll go check the observation cameras outside. And okay, we're on Jupiter. See how low in the sky it is? I'm just barely shooting over my house, which is over here. And this is about to flip. I need to go pay attention to that. I did not look and see what time IC 1396 was going to transit. So it's going to flip any time now. You can tell that the mount's horizontal. The OTA and the weights are just about horizontal, so it's going to be flipping time. Alright, so I'm just going to leave that on, and let's go back to we need now to go to our guide camera and find it. So let's go to about 2 seconds, and I think the last time we used east. Did we use east? Let's nope, east west. Oh, we're on my house. We're that low. Okay. Well, it makes sense with lights out there. May have to wait till it gets a little higher in the sky. This is nutso. Is my back porch light on? No, it wasn't. Let me, There's the moon. There's Jupiter right there. So there's no, it isn't Jupiter either. That's Jupiter. So I shouldn't have a problem getting that. But this moon is causing it to be, that's the problem. It's so bright. It's just so bright, it's not going to let me tack on it. It's just going to swamp the signal. Get out of the way, bugs. But that's what it is. It's the moon that's causing the problems. Oh, I should have left well enough alone. It's nice to have controllable surveillance cameras so that you don't have to go outside and just be lazy and sit here. Oh, it already flipped. So the mouse already flipped. So it flipped while we were whatever. So we better go check it out, because I'm sure what it's doing now is it's focusing. Oh, it's already started the next frame, so it's flipped. Yeah. I was gonna watch that show. Let's see what time it flipped. 12:18. What time is it? Yeah, 12:26. So, yep, flipped and started everything back up again. Can't beat Sequence Generator Pro for handling your equipment and automating everything. So, all right, back down to, no, we don't want that. We go ahead and turn that off. We know the problem, and until maybe tomorrow night, there'll be enough separation between the moon and Jupiter, if the skies allow it, maybe. But I tell you what, though, I'm thinking that what I need to do is to move. No. Let's just try this. that's the moonlight. Poobah. Poobah, poobah, poobah. Well, it is what it is. Let's slew back to Jupiter, and then let's slew to Saturn. Gosh, why didn't I sync it? All you gotta do is go up here to the telescope and click sync, and if I'd have synced it, I wouldn't have to go find it. Here we go. Back to Saturn. This here make things hard. So we're slewing to Saturn, and let's change this to let's change it to 2 seconds, and let's try. What do we want to try? I think we need to try. Oh. Yep, that's what we needed to do. West. I think. There she blows. Tell you what we're going to do though, as soon as I get this centered, we're going to sync it. Although I don't think I'm going back to Jupiter. But let's see, north. And then let's come down. And we should be close for government work. All right, we're at, we need to raise this up not that much. This up. Okay, now let's bring in our mount and go back here to, need to look at something real quick like. Let me go to my desktop. Just find space. Here, and let's go to I'm just going to use this. This is what I want to see. Took a screenshot of this. And that's where it was. So I want to move it up some.
Nathan?
Yes. In fact, let's go here. She comes. Okay. So let's center it. And okay. Let's just knock them off. Let's do 5. And I think while this is doing that, I'm going to sign off. I've been on for 109 minutes. That's too long, but it is what it is. And it looks better. But I'm going to sign off, and again, hope everybody has a great rest of the Labor Day weekend, and I will catch you guys later. Maybe live tomorrow night. I know I'm going to be imaging the sun tomorrow, clouds allowing. There's some crazy stuff going on right now. The sun, very active, as we are probably close to peaking at the solar maximum, although they're arguing about whether or not 2025 is supposed to be the peak day. But they're also talking about it may have 2 peaks, now and 2025. So, 2 peaks. Pretty cool. Catch you later.